After a long day, I could totally appreciate a nice restaurant-style meal to come home to. But since I'm single, sometimes I gotta get in the kitchen and whip it up myself. And just because food tastes like it came from an amazing bistro doesn't mean it takes all day to cook like you actually work in a bistro. A few quick tips, a few simple ingredients, and a whole lot of imagination will have your bellies full in no time at all. My herb ribeye is simple but delicious. I'll start it on the stove and finish it off in the oven. The Hennessy garlic butter cooks up as quickly as you'd think. I'll roast up some yams and top them with an amazing butter and brown sugar topping with lots of Georgia pecans. To wash the whole dinner down, my Peach Hennesy-Ritas are part Margarita and part amazing. Hey, what's up, y'all? You know who I am. I'm Darius. I make amazing recipes using familiar ingredients mixed in with a little stories from my grandmother's kitchen. So let us get started. All right, first things first is I've got these yams, right? Yams, sweet potatoes, however you want to call them. And the idea here is I want to get these roasted off in the oven, right? I love a sweet potato. And it's so funny because growing up, I wasn't really, you gotta work this. You gotta work it. You really gotta work it. Growing up, I wasn't really a fan of sweet potatoes. I'm still not a fan of like the candied yam situations today, but I love a good roasted sweet potato or whipped with mascarpone cheese and heavy cream, a little bit of salt and butter. It's amazing. But these are also as equally as good, right? So I'm just basically cutting wedges out of these potatoes because I want to get them off in the oven and get them roasted. So my oven's already preheated. 375 degrees is going to be what we're going to cook these on because I want these to cook up. And I also want them to caramelize a little bit, right? What that means is the sweetness of the potatoes are going to come out and these are going to be super delicious, okay? So you got to get in there with a little muscle, all right, and get these all cut up. Look at these, like nice wedges, right? So I want to put these off into my pan, and real simple, I'm just going to sprinkle this with a little bit of olive oil, some salt and pepper. That's really it, right? Now, the piece de resistance, the amazing part about what's going to happen a little bit later is that I'm going to make this topping you're not going to be able to even resist. It's going to be some good stuff, right? So there we go. We've got lots of olive oil so we get no stickage. I'm coming up top with the salt. Make sure we get this well incorporated. There's something about the sweet and salty that really goes well here, right? So salt, let me grab some pepper, ground pepper, right? And these are gonna go off into the oven to roast up. All right, now while our potatoes are roasting, I want to talk about this steak. Now, let me tell you something. There are a number of different cuts of steak that you can use for this preparation. Honestly, every steak you use is going to work. But I don't think there's anything better, in my opinion, than a juicy ribeye. Bone in is good, bone out is good. It doesn't even really matter. And the reason I love a ribeye is because the ribeyes have this marbling of fat in them, and that's going to make them amazing because when the ribeyes cook up, that fat renders itself out, and that's what's going to give us a really juicy steak, right? So New York strips work really well, T-bones, you know what I mean? Like they all work well. I'm going to use a ribeye today because that's just kind of what I'm feeling. I'm feeling a little ribeye-ish. You know, doing this and seasoning this reminds me of that one time when I was growing up. You know, I have oftentimes watched my grandmother in the kitchen. I think that's one of the ways I learned how to cook is just by watching my grandmother do her thing in the kitchen, right? And I used to see my grandmother season chicken pretty much all the time. Like, I knew what went in the chicken. I knew how she seasoned it. I watched her do it over and over again. So one day, I was feeling a little adventurous. And I said to myself, when I get the chance, I'm gonna make this fried chicken. Now, I was only probably about 9 years old, but I was super adventurous even at 9. So I went in the freezer, grabbed the chicken wings out, thawed them out, seasoned them up really nicely, the way my grandmother did. And you know how grandmamas, they season with their hand on the hip. You know, they sprinkling this and sprinkling that. So I did the same thing at 9 years old. I put my hand on my hip and I'm just sprinkling stuff all around, you know. I got the paper bag. I put the chicken wings in the paper bag and with the flour and shook them, and flour's all over the kitchen, and I got the oil nice and hot and fried them up. And my grandmother came home from work and I said, "Grandmama, you're gonna be so proud of me. I made us some fried chicken wings." My grandmama say, "Darius, where you get those chicken wings from?" I said, "I got them out the freezer." She says, "Darius, we don't have any chicken wings in the freezer." I said, "Yeah, we do. I fried them." Apparently, what I thought were chicken wings were actually turkey wings, okay? So at 9 years old, with my hand on my hip, here I am frying up turkey wings like it's chicken. So I like to think I started the fried turkey phase long before people had ever even heard about it. I mean, I think it was just like the funniest thing at 9 years old, just how adventurous I was. And I thought I was doing the right thing. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna knock this out the park. Lo and behold, it wasn't even chicken. It was turkey, okay? The funniest thing ever. So let me tell you, this ain't turkey, okay? This is ribeye, and I've really seasoned it liberally with salt, pepper, and lots of fresh thyme. I'm gonna let this hang out for a little bit, let it get to room temperature. Let me give my hands a quick wash. All right, now behind me, I got a skillet on the stove. Cast iron is the way to go around here, okay? And my oven's also preheated. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook the steak on the stove, both sides. I'm gonna sear it real nice. I want that nice sear on the steak. I like my steak medium well-ish to well done. Don't hate, okay? Don't hate. That's how I like to eat it, okay? I don't want the steak still mooing at me. That ain't what's up, okay? So I'm gonna cook the steak off and I'm gonna get it off in the oven so we can get it cooking. All right, before it's time to finish up and really enjoy this meal, I promised you a Peach Hennesy-Rita, and it's too close to Sunday for me to be lying. So let me go ahead and give it to you, okay? This is probably the easiest thing that you're ever going to do, right? It's a very, very, very simple cocktail, but it is juicy and it is really, really good. I love playing around with flavors. I think, you know, certain fruits are in season, so let's not waste them. Let's go ahead and use them to our benefit. So what I'm doing is I'm putting in fresh peach, skin and all. All right, I'm gonna save like a nice wedge. Oh geez, can I cut a nice wedge? Let's see. A nice wedge for the top for decoration, like that, okay? Now, ice and fresh peaches go in. I've got some fresh squeezed lemon juice. That's gonna go in, all right? You could use lime juice, but I like lemon juice with this recipe, all right? I'm gonna put in some sugar, all right? Because you wanna sweeten the whole thing. Just a little bit is gonna go a long way, all right? And then last but not least, some hen dog has to go in, all right? So this is a play on, you know, a margarita, kinda. Let's put a little bit of water in here. This is more like a play on a margarita, but with Hennessy, all right? And peaches, all right? Put the top on and let's give this a blitz and see what we get. What you want me to say? Because I don't have any words, okay? I don't have any words. I know what I'm trying first. For a little decoration, put a little peach right on the tip of that. I'm gonna go in for a taste. Oh, that's good. The lemon juice and the tartness comes right through. That Hennessy is smooth in here. And I get that gentle overtone. I can't stop drinking it. Hold on. You know what this takes me to? It takes me to like the backyard party. You see what I'm saying? And you gotta do the two-step when you're drinking, or the electric slide, okay? Boogie, woogie, woogie. You need this in your life, Doc. You need this in your life, okay? Ooh. Listen, I can hear and I can smell the rest of our meal. Let's save this for a little later, okay? And let's go ahead. Hold on. Let's go ahead and give me a plate. Yeah, that's good. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. All right, look. We have this amazing steak that we whipped up. Look at this thing. Okay? This ribeye steak is looking mighty fine with some of that delicious butter with the Hennessy and a little bit of that lemon juice. Fresh squeeze with the garlic. I could smell the whole thing. Speaking of smelling the whole thing, don't forget in the oven, we have those sweet potatoes, those yams that have been roasting up. Oh! Let me show you this. Nice and tender, okay? All right, those are ready to go. Let's not forget about the glaze that we made, okay? With the pecans and the brown sugar. That's gonna go, oh, I smell that. It smells great. Hold on, I wanna do this right. So I'm gonna do double fisted. I need 2 fingers, okay? And I'm just gonna pour this right over top, just like that. I wanna get the pecan in every crevice with that brown sugar and that butter. And the pecans, they've turned nice and nutty on us, and they really, really, really smell fantastic. I mean, look at that. That smells and looks really, really good, okay? And when you do it when it's warm, what happens is that it really starts to absorb all those really delicious flavors. So those potatoes are gonna be jam-packed with flavor. Okay, look, let me see. I gotta eat this, okay? Let me see. I don't even know where to start, but I'm gonna start with the steak, okay? Nice tender ribeye, very simple to do. Woo! I need you to see this. Look at this. Look how juicy this ribeye. Ooh, ooh. Look how juicy. It's hot. You see the smoke coming out? That means it's gonna be good. Shh. Cause we need to cut it. Look at this. All right, let me get a little piece of ribeye mixed with some of that garlic, Hennessy butter. I'm telling you, immediately I get the tender steak. That Hennessy comes through, the garlic and butter. It's like the steak relaxes me. This puts me in party mode. Okay, let's taste these potatoes with the pecans. Let me get in here and get the potatoes. Oh, look at this. Look how tender these are. Look at that. Now this is hot, okay? This is hot, but I'll risk it all for you. I don't even have words. The pecan is nutty. The brown sugar works in harmony with the butter. It's all just the perfect balance, right? This is what I mean when I talk about bistro food, restaurant quality food. You don't have to be in the kitchen all day. This cooked up in literally no time at all with minimal effort, and it's delicious. Recipes like this, you know where to find them. They're gonna be at blackfoodnetwork.com. I'm gonna finish this up, okay? 2 things I wanna tell you, as I always do. Listen, food is my life. Life, it's my food. Until next time, with food like this, I wanna wish you happy cooking from my heart to yours.